Here today with Nathan Zale from CRM Voice, founder and CEO, who's going to talk to us today about his 15 salespeople that he's got using Sendblue, iMessage across the various brands that he has. As you can see, all of his two Comma Club awards behind him there. Nathan, thanks for coming to hang out with me today.
Yeah, happy to chat with you.
Of course, why are you happy to chat with me?
Yeah, well, of course, we're always happy to chat with individuals that we're working with that provide us a good service and a good software, and that's getting results for us.
Tell me about those results. What results have you seen across your brands?
Yeah, so originally started using Sendblue for one company, and we were getting good results. That it was so good that I'm like, okay, well now I'm going to use it for all my companies. And yeah, some of the other salespeople in the one company were telling the other salespeople, they're like, oh, how are you having like the success? How are you talking, getting more conversations, getting more booked appointments, getting more sales? And they said, oh, because of this new Sendblue software. And some of the other salespeople on the other companies like, oh, we don't have that yet. And so it's kind of funny that everybody wanted it. And then, yeah, we introduced it to all the companies, and it's been good. The way that we kind of have things set up is we don't use appointment setters, which is why I like this software is good. We kind of have a strong belief of the salesperson is responsible for setting their own appointments, especially a lot of the times. We've just found also with appointment setters that they might call somebody up and say, oh yeah, I can talk right now. And then they're like, oh, no one's available. Can you do tomorrow? And then you lose out on that prospect. So it's nice sometimes in Sendblue when people are messaging and they're like, hey, I can chat right now, that the salesperson could just call them up and go right into the pitch. Yeah, so kind of the way that we have it set up is in our funnel that we run digital ads for to get leads, we either have people self-book an appointment, or some people fill out their own information and for whatever reason they don't book an appointment, and we call those positive responses. They responded to our ad, they give us the information, for whatever reason they just didn't go the next step to book an appointment. From there we have set up the automation for Sendblue to then text them and say, hey, what's going on, thanks for your interest, why didn't you book an appointment? The real difference of what we were doing before and what we were doing with Sendblue in terms of the messaging, right? In terms of the script and everything, is it's the same thing. We didn't change anything. The only thing that changed was the color of the text, which is blue. So yeah, we just saw our response rate shoot up, and then the team being able to convert those booked appointments shot up as well, which in turn been able for us to manage our ad spend better because we're getting a higher return leads booking to appointment, which means that we can fill up calendars faster, which means that we can spend less in ad spend. So it's been good overall.
Are you making more money?
Yeah, of course, because the salespeople are able to get more sales, right? They're able to establish that connection quickly. And because of that response rate, we're being able to get more people on the phones, which is resulting to more pitches, which is resulting to more sales.
You didn't change much about your process, like you said. What do you think's happening then in this, in the environment or the culture of like CRM and automation and that green bubble? Why does the color of the bubble make such a difference?
Yeah, I think, your guys' integration is super easy, right? I think on the onboarding, you guys, and I'm not very like tech, like I don't really do the tech stuff for the company, but I was on the onboarding, and yeah, you guys, it was like pretty simple. It was just like clicked like a couple buttons to connect it. So the integration is super, super easy, but I think a lot of I think it's just psychology. I think it's just anything. I think as humans, we're so prone to stuff that like when I get a text message from a number that I don't know and it's a green text message, for me it's usually like my building saying, oh, you have an Amazon package downstairs, or it's like CVS saying, oh, hey, 10% off today, or it's mostly kind of like spam type messages. So I think even if you have a good copy, and even if somebody opts into your ad, when they get that green text message, they think it's automated or they think it's some sort of spam. And I think subconsciously they don't sit there and read the message. I think they just open it up and they exit out, or they just click on it and they just delete it immediately. I think we've all done that, where we've seen messages right? We get a notification, we just click on it and delete it really quick because we know it's some sort of promotional thing that or update on something that we don't care about. I think with Sendblue, the psychology comes in of somebody going, "Oh, it's a blue text message," meaning it's probably not spam, it's not promotional, it's not an automation, it's not some company, it's an actual person. Somebody is actually texting me. And the type of clients that we work with are, in real estate agents, insurance agents, like they're business owners, so they're used to having people messaging them and they might think it's a client or whatever. So they think it's important. And then from there we're getting the responses because once they read it, they're like, oh. I also think that there's a little bit of I think when messages are automated, we don't care. We're like, oh, we're not hurting anyone's feelings by ignoring, right? Deleting it. I think when it's a blue message, they think, oh, it's a real person. So I feel bad ignoring it. This person took the time to text me. I should probably say something back. Because even if it's not the response that we're getting, because of course, sometimes we get people that are like, hey, thanks for reaching out. Like, sorry, you know what? Like, now's not a good time. I'm not interested anymore. Or, hey, please follow up with me in a few months. Of course, we get that, but at least they're replying back. Before it was just ignored.
It reminds me of there's this Jordan Belfort and Grant Cardone did a podcast together. I don't know if you've ever seen this clip, but they're talking about like levels of interest. And they're debating like, do you think not interested is a level of interest? And it's a hilarious clip. Maybe we'll roll it right now in the edit.
Hey, I'm coming to San Antonio, man. They're like, no, don't come by. But see, that was interest. To me, that's interest. No, I'm not interested. Not interested.
So not interested to you is interest.
Well, it is. It says not interested. Not is an adjective to describe interest.
Okay.
Right? So it's a level of interest. On a scale from 0 to 10, what interest level do you have? None. That is a level.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You get it?
Well, I wouldn't do that. I disagree with that.
Someone that texts you back and says, I'm not interested is so much now less work that your sales team has to go do. Not interested. On to the next one. And it is a different level of respect. And that respect can even be taken all the way through the process, I believe, with the sales team when you keep following up. It's like, I'm following up, I'm following up, I'm following up. Right, what? That's a real person right there. I should maybe give them like the respect and the
I should say something.
the
Exactly. And I think that that's the whole psychology behind it is just that thinking that somebody with their iPhone or somebody is messaging me. The other thing with Sendblue too is like there is the typical iPhone features. Like it might not even just be like somebody replying back with words. It might be emojis. So we get a lot of that too. Hey, what's up, bro? Like confirming your appointment for whatever 2 p.m. tomorrow. And then the customer is giving us a thumbs up or they're hearting the message, which is another form of communication. So it's cool that it's not always just words being exchanged. It's now emojis or emoticons if you're old.
And who knows what that's going to look like, 5 years from now, too.
Yeah.
All right, one final question for you here. We've got a bunch of different businesses using Sendblue. Why did you decide to take your budget and invest in a tool like Sendblue instead of just like turning the ad budget up more, hiring another closer? Why place it here?
Well, I think, when it comes to ad spend, it could get very tricky and it could get very expensive. There's a buying pocket too. There's a certain amount of audience that is in the market that's looking to buy. There's a certain amount of audience that's going to click on your ad and you have to utilize it. So whoever's clicking on your ads and whoever's becoming interested, you need to really hone in on it because you can't just skip over them and keep spending more money, bringing in new interest because you're going to burn through your budget on ad spend and you're not going to get the return on ad spend that you would like. So we're always looking for methods to kind of increase the leads that we have over the years. I mean, even from before, we have tens and tens and tens and tens of thousands of leads that we have. And before that, we were using Sendblue. Then now we can start creating campaigns and saying, hey, let's go back to all these old leads and start sending them Sendblue messages to re-engage them and get their attention, right? Because now all of a sudden it's a blue message. Oh, I'm paying attention now. And now we can get some interest from even leads that were, 6 months, 10 months, a year old. We can kind of re-engage
and get that same level of respect. That's right. Nathan, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Someone's watching right now. They're like, wow, this guy's got a lot of hardware behind him. Must know something.
Yeah.
like Nathan, they like his vibe. Who do you serve and how can people get in touch with you?
Yeah, so we work with real estate agents, insurance agents. We work with online business owners, and they can go to crmvoice.com and shoot us a message if they're interested, and let us know what needs they're in and maybe what they need help with. They're looking for ads, they need help with sales, and they need processes, and we can help them out with anything.
Nathan's got you and I'll help you out with Sendblue as well. Thank you, Nathan.
Thank you.